G'day, Dave the Enlightened Plumber here with today's quote. Storms make trees take deeper roots. Storms make trees take deeper roots. This is from Dolly Parton. And let's get into it. Okay, so storms are in reference to big storms, big things that go on around the world, all bad weather, right? And so the trees are having to grow deeper roots in order to them to take the constant gales bashing backwards and forwards and all that kind of good stuff. And that's true. Now there's also another aspect there that the trees also have to be flexible, that they can actually sway with whatever's going backwards and forwards. Now they need the roots in there to kind of hold on. But if they can't sway, then they'll just snap, right? So they've got a couple of properties on here. But the storms in our lives are those big events, and they don't even have to be that big, but typically the storms will be the big events that there's bad news that would come your way from out of absolutely nowhere. So this could be you're in a relationship and all of a sudden someone says, sorry, no warning, I'm out of here. This isn't working for me, goodbye. Boom, there's your storm, right? Devastation comes on. It could be that someone in your life has passed away suddenly. It could be that you've just been let go from a job. It could be that there was a promotion you were really building up for and all of a sudden, boom, it hasn't happened. There could be all sorts of things. That could be a market crash. Could be anything. Typically, these storms, though, are out of our immediate control or out of our awareness at least. And so where do we get our roots from? Well, typically if we're having these storms, what they do is they hit us and it's like, okay, now what happens, right? I can either just snap like a tree that's too brittle, or I can bend and flex with it. But as I'm doing this, the more storms that I go through, right? So typically it's not going to be the big one. It's the smaller storms that build up. But the more storms that I'm going through and I'm kind of getting buffeted around from good day, oh, it's an awesome day, it's great, to, okay, all my friends hate me and whatever, or I've lost that job. Like, what's going on here? Boom, there's a bad storm, right? Comes in. Well, all those things force us to dig deep into our own lives, dig deep into ourselves and say, okay, what do I need to build on? What resilience do I need to have here to allow me to kind of cope rather than just kind of snap? I need to be able to bend. So having these roots at least gets me to hold myself in the ground. So what is it that I do? What do I need to learn about myself? What is it that I need to learn about my job, my career, my relationships? What do I need to do? What can I go back into in my past or dig deep down for and get that resolve to carry on forward and go, okay, I know that life's going on. So typically what happens is we'll get a few bad things. So say going back into relationships, we're growing up in school, all of a sudden we're best friends with lots of people, and the next day everybody seems to hate us, and it's like, okay, why? I don't understand this. And with childhood, that could be any particular reason. It could be something stupid and fickle. It could be whatever. But all of a sudden we're in here. It's like, okay, so now what goes on? Well, okay, that's really upsetting. Now, how do I cope with that? Oh, well, okay, did I do something wrong? Let's have a bit of reflection here. No, okay, maybe it's just one of those things. Okay, well, I can hate them all. I can do that. Well, that's one option. But I have this experience that gives me a reference point. And that reference point is sort of one of those roots that digs a bit deeper. So as I go through life, the next time something like that happens, I have a reference point to go back down to and say, okay, that sort of stops me from kind of moving around so much here, right? And then it gives me a little bit more strength, a little bit more food to recover from afterwards. So as I go through life and I have these experiences, then I'm stronger. I'm a much bigger tree, as it were, to go through. So anyway, with that, I guess the big thing from here, though, is that all these storms that we have in our lives are actually making us stronger. So they make me stronger, they make you stronger. And that's what enables us to grow to be big, strong people and have a successful life. So with that, storms make trees take deeper roots. From Dolly Parton and myself, Dave the Enlightened Plumber, grow your roots deep, and don't be afraid of the storms. Take care. See you on the next one.